Hello and welcome to the Debrief. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about job roles and career paths. And so over the past few weeks I've been researching ways to get into certain careers and job roles that I find really interesting and are possibly something that I might want to pursue in the future. So I was looking at three ones in particular, and those three were product designer, project manager and advertising and marketing designer. Now, as a creative person, obviously I don't want to go into something boring. I want to go into something that's going to keep me occupied, on my toes and on the go all the time. With product designer, I really love the concept design section, so working in groups with people to brainstorm new ideas for new products, or ideas following a brief that we have been given. I think a really cool thing with product design is that you're not going to be designing the same thing over and over again. You're going to be getting different briefs from different companies. With the likes of project manager, I think I would find that one interesting because I do perform really well in a role of leadership, and I think I get people to work well together, and whenever tasks need done, I think I'm a person that is able to get them done. I also think projects such as event planning, which we've been doing recently within the course, I have found that really interesting and really engaging, and I think you also are taking so many things into consideration, such as risk assessments and like target audience, how are we getting people to engage, and I think teamwork as well is just something that draws me into things, because I find that so much more enjoyable. And then with advertising and marketing, this is one that I really heavily focused my research into, because out of the three of these, that is the one I'm definitely leaning towards the most, just because I think with advertising and marketing, there's so many sides to it that I love. For the likes of the creative side is great, creative freedom in whatever we're advertising, marketing to certain audiences, great, love the concept design side of it, unreal, really happy with that side. On the other side of it is the analytical thinking side, and I know I'm not a very logical person, but I do really like looking at the numbers and being able to lay it out and say that if we do this is going to increase our profit margins, or if we do this is going to get us more engagement within our audience. And I do find that really interesting, to be able to look at the numbers and prove that what we're going to design and how we're going to advertise that to that certain group of people is actually going to be impactful. And I think something that is quite daunting is looking into what you need qualification wise to get into the career path of your choice. And even as I was looking throughout all of these job roles, they were all looking for really high qualifications. With advertising and marketing, you're looking at your basic 5 GCSEs, 3 A levels, just the usual. A lot of places I was researching into, employers were looking for bachelor's degrees, and that for me is quite scary, and that really kind of put me off that until I looked further into it. And creative industries that were looking for advertising and marketing designers were actually really keen on seeing people's personal portfolio as well, so that was really great to see that I wasn't going to be sectioned out because I didn't go to uni, but actually if I have a portfolio that really stands out, that my style really shines through in, and that I have experience in working, whether it's been apprenticeship, internship or freelance, that's still something that employers can look at and be like, so they have X, Y and Z, and this is what we need. So as someone that didn't really know much about the creative industries until I joined tech last year, it was eye-opening to look into what kind of skills are necessary for an advertising and marketing designer to be really successful. And obviously you've got your creative skills, so being competent in the likes of Adobe and Figma and AI softwares is obviously going to be really important when that's what you're using for your everyday. And attention to detail obviously you can't go wrong with as a creative person. You need to be able to spot things that are wrong with your design early on so that they can get fixed before it turns into an actual problem. And I think with a lot of creative careers as well, you're looking at key problem solving so that we can come up with an innovative solution to problems before they become bigger. As well with that, collaboration. There's no point going into a creative industry if you're not prepared to collaborate. If I'm going into a project at tech especially, I'm already thinking, how can I collaborate with the likes of games, with the likes of TV? How can I increase my portfolio to look better by bringing all that in together? With the likes of salary for an advertising and marketing designer, it really varies. So it definitely depends on kind of what level you're at in your career, where you're at. Entry level, you're looking 20,000 to 30,000. But what I did find, which was interesting, was the margin of income for freelancers was so much higher. But for the likes of me and my future, so in 5 years I'd love to be living in London. I'd love to be working for a massive agency in London. I'd love to be leading marketing campaigns, watching them be launched, watching the execution of these marketing campaigns. But I can only work as hard as I can now to get to where I want to be. But yeah, thank you so much for listening. Hopefully this isn't the last episode of the Debrief, and hopefully I'll be back soon. Bye.